I am losing my mind over the Create 6 update. We got every tool we need to make storage and crafting systems at a level of mechanical excellence far above the likes of applied energistics and refined storage. I mean, we got Create 6 before GTA 6, and honestly, I'm more hyped about Create. Something else I've been raving about recently is a Jaffa Factory 2 series by the Yogs cast. Tens of thousands of other gamers also love it, and so a fan-made pack with all the same mods exists and has 14k downloads. The premise of the Jaffa Factory, in no uncertain terms, is to manufacture at scale these definitely not classified as cakes for tax purposes in Minecraft. This series, plus Create 6, is a match made in heaven, and I just couldn't wait. Of course, I couldn't do it myself, so I brought in my mechanically apt assistant to help with the engineering side of things. Alright, so while my past self does all the basic resource collection and things like that, punching trees, you've all seen it before, I'm going to go over some of the goals and rules for this playthrough. Number one goal, obviously, make Jaffas in a factory using this mod pack. I've removed some mods, namely most of the Create add-ons because they don't work with Create 6 yet. Some of them do, some of the devs came in clutch to make it compatible. The factory must grow, and crafts and additions especially, those will be good to have, and I'll be adding them back in as compatibility improves. A couple other mods that I disabled, Botania, I just don't like Botania, and Applied Energistics 2, and Refined Storage. Obviously, if we're going to have a production line, we need to farm all the ingredients to make a Jaffa cake. For the next goal, I don't just want to be squabbling around in a shed with a crappy production line. I want to build a factory that's worthy of being called a Jaffa Factory. This means utter industrialization of the land. We are going into a cave right now, but if you saw beforehand, we do have a very flat landscape that we've spawned in. So that's ripe for paving. We're paving over that. And of course, since we have Create 6, we have to build an awesome logistics network to complement it. As for the last point, the Jaffa Space program is postponed until I can get Ad Astra working. That's another mod that I had to remove. Really feels like a distraction anyway at this point, so we're not going with it.
What are the rules?
Okay.
That's right, we've got some rules to adhere to. Number 1, Create 6 is here. No computer storage is allowed. I'm already enforcing this with no access to applied energistics and refined storage, but I thought I'd throw that in anyway. We do have modular routers though, and it's kind of debatable if that counts as computer storage. I'm not too familiar with the mod anyway. I'm just going to say, use it sparingly. Number 2, minimal animal cruelty. We're going to need milk and eggs, and we want to be ethical about collecting them. At a bare minimum, this means not roasting cows alive after milking them once. Number 3, Jaffa production cannot be too synthetic. We have mechanism, we have thermal foundation, and we are not allowed to use them to make Jaffa cakes. No item pipes, no mechanism machines, no thermal foundation machines, and I'm also going to count no bone meal or fertilizer spam for growing the ingredients. Everything has to be farmed naturally and processed with Create. This only applies to Jaffas though, everything else is fair game. Final rule for the farms, don't just spam botany pots everywhere for the ingredients. They have to be farmed as naturally as possible. The only exception is if we have something like flowers or sea pickles, which can only be farmed by spamming bone meal on them. Then I'd use botany pot for those, because that feels the most natural. You might be saying, hold on, this contradicts the goal of industrializing everything. And well, you'd be right, but here's the thing. Just like any large corporation, I can get away with a lot of ecological destruction if I do a few good deeds here and there. Anyway, wow, all that yapping, and it still looks like my past self is stuck in a mine. Let's get him out of there. So after exiting the mine, I set up in a villager's home, crammed it full of furnaces, and just started smelting every ore that I mined. I also crafted up a little bit of andesite alloy just so my assistant has something to start crafting with. Also, it's now that I'm just realizing there's some things I can claim in the quest book just from clicking on a few checkboxes, so let's go for that. One of them is 64 obsidian, which that feels a bit cheaty. I'm not going to take that right now. I am going to take a break after that mining expedition, and I will let my assistant do some create stuff, so we'll check on our progress when I get back. Alright, so after that mining adventure, I've given my assistant the task of making a couple of machines just to get us started. And first of all, I just want to really look at the landscape we've got to work with here. It is so level. Terraforming is going to be a breeze. I mean, we have these copy-paste gadgets from one of the mods, and they're going to make this so incredibly easy. We are truly blessed by this landscape. Anyway, let's check in on what my assistant's been up to. See, she's got a press and a mill. Hello? Hey. Yeah, you've got a press and a millstone there, eh? See, you've been using that press to make yourself some goggles. They look nice on you. Yeah, let me just take a look at what you've made here. So you've made 2 water wheels, one for powering the press and one for this millstone. I guess you just had to mill something. And they're both powered from this water that... Wait a minute. They're in the same block, and they're... Which way is this water flowing? I mean, it's flowing down, but it's also out? I didn't know you could do this with... Did you know you could do this? Did you do this intentionally? So you just had a janky setup and it worked. Alright, well, I'll leave you be. I will come back at some point to do some building, you know, build a proper house, so we're not just living in this horribly cramped villager's home. So good news, you have that to look forward to. Awesome. Alright, see you then. Alright, well, I promised her a house, and what better time to build it than right now? I'm not going too crazy for this build. Just a place where we can house a few basic machines and do our crafting in peace. A solid roof over our heads. If you've been watching up to this point, thank you. I haven't made proper videos like this in a while, and I plan to keep releasing more episodes, regardless of the reception they get. I'm doing this because I love the mods and the series, and I want to just put something out there. As for release schedule, I'm not sure right now. New episodes won't be as edit heavy as this one was in the beginning, and that'll certainly help in getting them done quickly. My ideal schedule would be weekly, but I'd be happy with an episode about every 2 weeks. I do want to keep playing on this world every chance I get because, well, I decided to do this for fun. So the release schedule is going to follow that, and that's about as much as I can promise. I'd also like to remind you that you, the viewer, have several tools at your disposal to express your appreciation and to keep tabs on my future uploads. I trust you'll use those tools well. Alright, so here we are. Check it out. It's very empty right now. I still have to put beds in, but you know, these chipped tables came in really handy, and they look pretty good too. I've never crafted the glass blower before, and it makes pretty sweet glass panes. So yeah, I'm gonna start moving things inside. Might have to take down my assistant's little workstation here. I'm sure she won't mind. Gonna shamelessly steal the villagers' beds. Oh my goodness gracious. Great. Great. You know, I didn't need that house anyway. And yes, I called the Waystone Among Us house. Don't worry about that. Let's just forget about that. Really gotta light this place up. Put the beds. Yeah, screw it.